Greetings, hello, welcome on in, guys. Unoptimized Fool from the closet. Glad you could be here. Listen up. I want to talk about 11.0.7 and obviously the Siren Isle. And we found, obviously it's on the PTR for a whole day now, and we have found something out that has the community a little bit mixed up. So we do not have access to any sort of flying inside of the Siren Isle. No dynamic flight and no old flight, whatever they call it now, right? So we can't dragon fly, we can't fly around with our cool mounts. We're going to be on the ground. Obviously, you can have land mounts, but there's no flying. Now, right away, if I would say if this was like a normal zone, like a normal sized, large zone in like a 0.1 or 0.2 patch, I would be very upset. Because again, we've been so used to flying since the start of Dragonflight. We haven't not flown in such a long time. I think it's been like around 3 years of just flying everywhere. And now all of a sudden we're not flying. What is this, the Maw? Oh my god. But, it's really not a terrible decision because the island is very small for what we have, right? The Siren Island, again, is cut content for island expeditions for BFA, we assume, right? Because it was an island and it's relatively small, so we think it might be just cut content. Obviously, it's from BFA, it's been cut. We can assume it was for an island expedition. So the island expedition maps weren't that large, especially this one, right? Now, someone actually on one of the, I think it was either on X or Reddit, said that it took them on a land mount 53 seconds to get from the top of the island to the bottom of the island, and I think it's even less on the sides, right? So it's basically the Rhode Island of World of Warcraft content, right? It's the smallest thing in the world. So I guess flying wouldn't really make sense because, again, you can get to anywhere you want with a land mount for 40 within 53 seconds, right? Again, that's not that far at all. Now, obviously, it's going to be weird, though, because we have been flying since the start of Dragonflight. To not be flying, right? Again, it's going to be kind of muscle memory at this point. So it's going to be strange with that. But I think flying would just kind of be like, oh, we're going to fly up and we're going to come back down. Like, it's just going to be instant, right? Just kind of like how we always use dynamic flight for mounting up for like 5 feet, then going back straight down to the ground. We've all done it. I've done it. You've done it, right? And obviously, I think Blizzard decided that, hey, no flying here. Now, again, I saw some people very angry about this, but I honestly don't think it's a big deal because, again, the island to this user, which I believe them, it's 53 seconds long, just walk, and it should be fine. Now, obviously, if there was no land mounts, I would have a problem with that. But obviously, we have land mounts, and it shouldn't be a big deal. Obviously, how it plays, it might be a little bit awkward just not flying all of a sudden. You might be thinking something's broken. I'm hoping they kind of... Now, obviously, since we're super attuned to the news, right, we're in the closet talking about the news all the time, some casuals don't look at the news, they just kind of hop in the content that's presented, right? I hope they, talk about no flying to them before they go in, because they're going to go in and be like, why can't I fly? What bug is this? And so hopefully that's communicated with people. And also, I wonder how they're going, I think the way that they're, the lore of it is that it's too windy. It's too windy on the island. And your mount can't survive with the wind. Just how we in the Northrend, you can have cold flying because you couldn't fly until you get the cold flying because your mount's still too cold. It's too cold up there. So obviously some lore, which is cool. But yeah, other than that, I don't think it's a big deal at all. I think, would I like flying? Sure, give me the option. But I think it caused more problems than obviously it's just a small island in the middle of nothing, right? It's just its own map. We have to load in, right? The loading screens have been data mined as well too. So obviously we're not just flying off the coast and seeing this. It's already part of the mega island. It's its own instance, right? It's not like the island offside of Pandaria, like the Timeless Isle, right? It's its own separate instance. So there's really not much else to look at. But guys, I just wanted to talk about that. And again, what's your opinion about this? Again, a lot of people are super divided about this. But I'm on the track of it doesn't really matter. It's a small island. But if they did this for a big thing, I would be angry. But guys, Unoptimized Fool from the closet. Glad you could be here. I'll see you guys in the next one.